did a little research on you.
Oh, okay.
You did the Harley Race Wrestling Academy,
Yep. Sure
and let
did.
me tell you, I've followed Harley's academy while he was still alive, and after his passing, his son has kind of taken over the realms of that. Leland,
Yep.
what was that like for you going to that place up there? Did you go to the one in Troy?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so tell us about your experience at the Harley Race Wrestling Academy. I'm sure it was quite an experience.
Yeah. So, just kind of going back off what I said about the college thing.
Hmm.
In 2020, I was trying to kind of figure out what I wanted to do because I've always wanted to be a professional wrestler, but I always had the thought in the back of my head. It's like, can I really be a wrestler? Can I really do this? And I got to thinking, and then bam, I go on Facebook and I look in my ads or whatever, which I think Facebook watches things. I don't know. It's a little weird, but it's a little weird. But I see an ad for the Harley Race Wrestling Academy. Classes start in July 2020. So I was like, okay. So I actually I reached out because they were doing a training camp, like a 2-day camp or whatever. I don't know if it was a training camp or like a tryout
Okay.
because at the Harley Race Academy, like you have to pass a tryout. So it's pretty much just a bunch of conditioning drills, a few bump drills and stuff like that. And they don't expect anybody to know what they're doing, but the train at our school, you have to be committed. You have
Hmm.
to have that passion. You've got to be desirable to train. So that's kind of what it is. However, COVID kind of canceled that, so I didn't end up going. But I ended up catching one of the last shows before they kind of went into their shutdown or whatever up there
Hmm.
in whatever counties Troy, Missouri's in.
Hmm.
And man, I was hooked. I saw
Yeah.
guys like Superstar Steve. I saw
Yeah.
Leland. I saw Derek Stone, Moses, CTV, Sean Patrick, Stefan Newton. I saw a bunch of guys, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, like this is legit. Because I've been to a couple independent shows before this when I was like 16, 17 years old, and
Hmm.
it was pretty cool. But they didn't really they didn't make me believe in the wrestling, if that made sense.
Yeah.
You
No, it
you just
does.
saw a bunch of like flips and just like leg slapping and just all kinds of stuff, and it just wasn't believable to me.
Yeah.
Um, but the funny thing about all this is that probably when I was like 11 years old, the Harley Race School used to be in Eldon, Missouri, which is
Yep.
like an hour from where I live because I live in Lebanon, and you
Hmm.
take North 5 up to Camdenton and then through Osage Beach to Eldon. So it was really close.
Yeah.
So growing up, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like I could see myself going there. Cool. And then I was very disappointed when I looked more into the Harley Race School that I found out that it's like 2 hours and 45 minutes just one way from where I live. So I was like, man, that
Yeah.
sucks. But at the same time, at that point in my life, I was like, and I'm always this way with things. I don't really like to, halfway things. Like if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna go into it, right?
Yeah.
So um, after that show, I got a hold of Leland, Harley's son, and I was like, hey, I want to do this. I will do whatever it takes. I want to train here. So I started training, I think July 20th of 2020. And man, I'll tell you what, my first 3 months it was rough. Because I was doing things that my body has never been through before. I was taking like I think the first 3 months, we didn't really learn anything. We just learned how to take bumps. It was
Hmm.
bumps after bumps after bumps, and then Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I'm driving back and forth all the way up to Troy and back every
Oh,
night.
wow.
Uh, Still working. So I kind of had a little circuit, if that made sense. So I would get off of work at like 1, and then I would drive all the way up to Troy. I'd get there around like 4 o'clock. I would train for the 3 hours, and then we get done at 8. I drive all the way back to Camdenton because that's where I went to the gym at. So by the time I got there, it was probably like 10:30. I would work out for an hour, and then I'd drive about 30 minutes home, and then, same thing over and over again.